Today on the channel, once upon a time, one of my oldest and dearest friends, no, not Todd McFarlane, it was my friend Dave. He sat me down and he said, Kyle, peace sells, but who's buying? And I said, Dave, I am, with Peacemaker DC McFarlane Toys unboxing and review.
And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Here and welcome back to the channel for another DC McFarlane DC Multiverse unboxing and review. And today on the channel we got one of my figures that I've been looking forward to the most this year, a brand new DC McFarlane Peacemaker figure. But for all your Peacemaker figure needs and a whole lot more, hit up jaystoysandgames.com. Use code Kyle, save yourself 15%. Yes, 15% on all in-stock items, including Peacemaker, who is in stock right now. Got to get a deal out there. And of course, we're going to do this review like we do all the other reviews on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there. And Peacemaker, the TV show, absolutely love Peacemaker. My favorite thing ever with John Cena, probably. Crazy to think that after all these years, but I really enjoyed the Peacemaker series. And I'd never even heard of Peacemaker until the Suicide Squad. So kudos to the whole team over there making a character, a deep cut character, let's be honest, to be one of the most popular characters going right now with one of the most popular TV series going right now. So check out Peacemaker on HBO Max. And as I said, my old friend Dave, he said, Kyle, peace sells, but who's buying? And I was a little confused. And I said, but can you put a price on peace? And Dave said, Kyle, I'm going to write a song about it. And he did many years ago. Check out Megadeth. You may have heard of them. But let's dive into Peacemaker here. And we'll do some Peacemaker comparisons later on in this very video as well. But I love the packaging. Very Striper inspired, but I'm not going to say Striper fan because he never talked about it in the show. But Peacemaker, a guy that loves some hair metal, but dare I say, walks that Striper line in the coloring here. But I love the packaging, like the DC Collector's Edition, but it stands out a little bit more. A lot of fun in this figure here. 22 points of articulation. What do we got for ages? 17 and up on here. You 16-year-olds, you can drive a car. Yeah, I'll give you that. But you can't be having this Peacemaker figure. It's too dangerous for you. But I do like that this one is much improved on the last versions. And we'll dive into those later on in this video, as I said. A lot of a loadout here. A lot going on. Peacemaker, Peacemaker the series. Peacemaker, Peacemaker the series. And then on the back, very cool little poster here. Somebody could have this on their room or on their door or something in their house. Peacemaker the series. Peace out, mother duckers, I think is what that says there. But looking very cool. John Cena getting an action figure outside of wrestling. You know, The Rock's had many outside of the wrestling. John Cena, not as many. But he'll be on his way. He'll be on his way. See you later. Goodbye. Get the cool card style on this one. See you later. Deadeye off the screen. Got to get a deal there, of course. And there it is. DC McFarlane stand. Seen it before. We'll see it again. See you later. Goodbye. See you later. Goodbye. And goodbye. But let's read and see what it says about Peacemaker. Following the events of the Suicide Squad, Peacemaker returns from his encounter with Bloodsport, only to discover that his freedom comes at a price. And as once again, Dave Mustaine, my old friend Dave, said, Kyle, can you put a price on peace? And he wrote a song about it, as we do know. Peacemaker looking good with bonus Eagle-y figure. You know I'm here. You got to have an eagle. Haven't seen an eagle this cool since my boy Spirit in G.I. Joe. Spirit, one of my absolute all-time G.I. Joe members. To me, a lot of people love the Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow feud. I was all about the Storm Shadow Spirit feud. There was something more to that one, at least in the cartoon, back when I was a kid. Always enjoyed that. Still enjoy it to this day. Let's pop out these Peacemaker heads and helmets. A lot going on with this one. A lot more loadout with this one than the other versions we did receive. And I'm here for that. We also get his Peacemaker gun, and I'd love to see that as well. He's like a young Charles Bronson with this big gun here. Or like a young AC/DC singing around about big guns once upon a time. And that gun is locked in with the Cambodian tape. How about that? The Cambodian tape from McFarlane Toys. Never forget. See you later. Goodbye. Watch out. All right. let's get down to business. I guess we'll start with this Peacemaker weapon here. You get the white handle there, looking very nice. Silver gun. Long barrel on this one. This one's a dangerous weapon. Watch out. You don't want to be on the business end of that one. Then we get into Eagly here, looking like talons down here. The black, once again. Is this eagle a huge striper fan? Could be, could be. Yellow beak, white head, and then you got the brown bodies flying through the air, looking good. I wish there was a way to perch him on here, though. I wish he had a connector where you could connect him to his arm or something like that. You know me, I've been dreaming of being a falconer for quite some time now. Yes, a falconer. I've always wanted to be one since I was a little kid, playing with my Raptor G.I. Joe figure. And then recently had one of the good buddies of the channel sent me a picture. He was watching my videos as he was training his hawk. So I said, man, this is a line of work I need to get into. And Peacemaker apparently by default in there with Eagly. And Eagly steals the show quite a few times on the TV show, as we do know as well. But now we're diving into Peacemaker himself. And man, oh man, it's John Cena Peacemaker. Leaps and bounds in the improvement department over the last one. Like the helmet here, the helmet is not removable on here. You got a very stoic John Cena Peacemaker face. Silver helmet, and then you got a little bit of that tealish blue color on there. Looking pretty good. Peacemaker with the helmet. Now, second helmet, I guess we'll go head sculpt next. We get the John Cena head sculpt, and that was a huge gripe many people had about the old McFarlane Peacemaker. Now, I did a video on it once upon a time, years ago it feels like at this point, where I took the Hollywood John Cena Mattel Elite figure, popped that head off, put that on the figure. That's the one you're going to see. I don't know where the old head is. It's in a baggie somewhere. But this is leaps and bounds improved on that last version. So kudos to that. Looks like John Cena all day long. Got the blue eyes. Got the brown hair. Got 2 eyes, 2 ears, a nose, and a mouth. It's playing all those John Cena hits. And as we know, John Cena, good friend of the channel.
Kyle Peterson, who is known in some circles as the Larry Bird of sports entertainment figurine collecting. Well, this is John Cena, a.k.a. John Cena, who is known in some circles as the John Stockton of fashion. The shorts get shorter all the time.
So I'm happy to have the much updated Peacemaker figure looking very good right here. But now we get 2 helmets, different designs for the Peacemaker helmets. If you saw the series, there's, he's got a rack where there's a bunch of different helmets and they do different things. Part of his powers, I guess you could call it. But you got 2 different versions here. You got one with a little bit more teal and you got one straight up gray. This is kind of what I imagine more. But it's great to have options, and you're a hardcore Peacemaker guy. Maybe you're buying multiple of these to display the multiple looks, or using them with some of the other figures that we're going to bring out here in a little bit. But let's dive into old Peacemaker. Let's dive into it. And could I do the stop motion animation to make him do the Peacemaker dance from Series 1 or Season 1 or Season 2? Probably not. I don't got the time for that, but somebody probably will. Peacemaker got his shirt going on there. You got the upside down bird flying down, looking very good. Nice bright red. You got the dark blue and then the yellow insignia with a little bit of orange. Very pale skin tone on him. And John Cena's kind of pale a lot of times, so we're seeing a little pale skin tone on that. Got the utility belt there. Any superhero worth a grain of salt's got a utility belt, and he's got a few things stored in there. Nothing removable, unfortunately. He does got a holster. Is that going to fit his Peacemaker? What do you know? You can put that on the side if that is your thing. Doesn't go all the way down, though, but close enough to be dangerous, I guess. Got some khakis there with a little blue trim around it. Got the black boots looking very good. Arm's going to go all the way around for us. No butterfly shoulders on this one, though, unfortunately. Bicep cut, nicely hidden in the sleeves. Love to see that. Pin joints, unfortunately, very unnatural looks on this one, too. How ugly is that elbow? That looks just terrible. It looks terrible. So make sure you have the arms open for that one. Hands back and forth, side to side. You got the trigger finger on both hands. Unfortunately, no extra hands, so no punches and bunches. None of that going to go on with Peacemaker here. You got waist articulation. Interesting waist articulation here. It's like the shirt is actually over the top of another shirt. So a little bit, not a lot of bend in there, but does bend around a little bit. But does look good still. Now, he does got the Peacemaker splits if you need it. Legs do go up for the big boot. Double jointed pin knees. Let's get rid of these pins, Todd McFarlane. He says it's too late. It's too late. They're here forever. Ankles back and forth, side to side. Once again, you got those big balls in there. I hate big balls in my face. I hate them anywhere, especially in the ankles of my action figures. We got some of that going on, and then we get side to side. We do get the toe articulation, though, thankfully, there with the old Peacemaker. Let's put that weapon in his hand here. See how well that fits. Ooh, that's a tight fit. I'm not going to lie. There we go. But it fits. It fits, and he's ready to go. Suicide Squad. whatever he needs to do. And I would love to see more Peacemaker series figures. I'd love a Vigilante. If I could just get Vigilante and maybe Judo Master. You're right. I like a little guy every once in a while. Maybe a Judo Master. We could get that. That would be okay. But I'm glad we got this John Cena Peacemaker. This is a good looking figure and much improved over the last one. And what have we said over the years on the channel? 5 years now. We've said they're always going to put something out. It might not be the best, but then they're going to get you to buy the next one, and that's what this is. And then I'm sure there'll be another Peacemaker in the future, and they'll get us to buy that one. They keep dangling the carrot, keep moving the goalpost on us, but keep us spending our money, and that's what we see. A lot of people that got the ones before probably wouldn't have got those if this was available at the time. And that's just the way it goes. But we do got John Cena Peacemaker. Once again, 2 different looks right here. So that's there's a regular and I think maybe a platinum. I can't remember what the difference was at the time. This one with the helmet isn't as bad, and I had to use one of those McFarlane weapon packs to get that weapon for him. So not terrible on this one, but the head sculpt was just god-awful, as we know. So I did use a Mattel Elite head on this one. Makes it a lot better, but come on, what are we doing here with this sword and axe combo? This is before Todd, got the cojones, Todd, let's be honest. And you got the weapons back with your McFarlane figure. So nice to see the gun with this Peacemaker instead of this kind of shenanigans over here. So we'll see what happens, but not a bad go around for Peacemaker. Maybe a little bit tanner on the skin tone would be nice, but if you enjoyed the Peacemaker series, you probably enjoy this figure. Wish Eagle fit on him somewhere, though. I guess I could sticky tack it on there or something. But this guy isn't going to stand or anything, so is what it is. But fun to have Peacemaker once again. Absolutely ecstatic to get this in the collection. Available at Jay's Toys and Games right now if you need this in your collection. And there it is, Peacemaker John Cena. What's your guys' thoughts? Pick up, pass, long game, no game, not so sure game. I don't know what I'm doing with my life game. I want to be a Falconer like Kyle game. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. You made it this far, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on the old notification bell. We got videos every single day, and then some. We got even more content for you. Patreon, YouTube channel memberships, plenty of stuff to keep you busy over there. Sir Paul64 on the X, _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, Instagram, TikTok, and TheKylePetersonShow at gmail.com. Conveniently enough, the name of my podcast, The Kyle Peterson Show, available wherever podcasts are found with videocast on YouTube. So for Peacemaker, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.
Well, are we gonna dance or are we gonna play?